Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Redneck Ways. How's everybody out there in YouTube land? I hope you guys had fun and dandy. It's Friday evening. That means one thing. The weekend is here. Yeah, we made it to another one, guys. We made it to another one. Guess what I got in my pocket? Yes, that's right. In my pocket is a mouse. Guess what? It's Halloween month. Oh yes. Oh yes. We're even go with the go-go mouse. Well, guys, tonight I thought we'd talk about some big holes in the ground. That's right. We're going to talk about mines, cool places. What got me on this was I was watching a thing on Elvis Presley the other night, and it was about when um they came out and they was doing his I think was it the 25th album or 25th anniversary? Maybe it was the 50th anniversary. No, it wouldn't be 50. But anyway, it came out in the 90s and they was mastering everything. And I was watching a thing on that. And the guy who did all the board, switchboard, and everything, whatever you call it, mixing board. My God, what a job that would be. Have you ever seen the mixing boards? They go on, they're like rooms full of just boards that you, all knobs, slides and all kinds of stuff, crazy stuff. But anyway, he remastered it and he had to call up somebody that worked in Iron Mountain. If you don't know what Iron Mountain is, I'm going to tell you right here in a minute and show you. Iron Mountain is a place where they keep all copies of like movies, any song that's been played on the radio, any movie that you've seen or whatever. It's it's probably been put in here, and they put it in there for one reason only, and that's for security and from keeping it from tearing up because the temperature stays the same all year round. I think it's like 71. I'm not for sure about that. Maybe one of these videos will tell us. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to check on some cool places around the United States, and it's inside of mountains. So let's check it out. I think there was maybe one that's not inside of a mountain that we're going to talk about tonight, but it's a big building and it's very secure. Alrighty. If this is the type of thing you all like, just sit back, relax, kick off your shoes, and let's get into it. Like I was talking about earlier, let's start out with Iron Mountain. Here's a little something. I think this guy visit there, so let's go and see what he's doing. Alrighty, guys. Now, I hope my internet holds out. It don't glitch on us. But here we go. This is coming into the video. This is front and center of the Iron Mountain. This used to be a mine, and they would, I guess, dig for iron, like iron ore and stuff. So to make metal. And the more they dug, the bigger this place got. So they pretty much made it into like a regular office. Let's check it out, guys. Here we go.
And the seasons don't change. A lot of folks, when they come here, perhaps yourself included, they have a preconceived notion. I'm going underground. The roof is going to be very low. There's going to be stalagmites and stalactites, and that's in a cave, certainly. This is a mine. So this is 100% man-made. And we try to create an office environment, a work environment that's going to be comfortable for the couple thousand folks that come here every day.
I told you they made like an office.
Let us face, without panic, the reality of our times. The fact that atom bombs may someday be dropped on our cities.
It was at the peak of the Cold War, and the Russians had the bomb, we had the bomb, folks were concerned of nuclear attack. So the defense industry went to their primary defense contractor, who was U.S. Steel, and said that you should take precautions for the preservation of your vital information. So they set about the task of trying to find what was then called a hardened location underground, and looked at dozens of mines that U.S. Steel operated and settled upon this one. The facility that we're in is enormous. We operate now in about 145 acres of space. The mine is about 1,000 acres. It's really like an underground city. While we can't get into the details as to who the clients are, they certainly would include all of the major motion picture film studios, as well as the studios that maintain recorded sound. So if you listen to the radio or you're watching television or you go to the movies this weekend, there is an excellent chance that the originals or the masters would be stored underground at our facility. Our clients come here because they're looking for the protection of their information. They want it to be safe and secure, and we try to maintain, and they enjoy that quiet enjoyment of the facility. So here's a good example of a temperature and humidity controlled vault. It's a small area, there's a small dehumidification unit on the right-hand side, but this particular customer only needs the temperature that Mother Nature gives us. So there's not a refrigeration unit that's hooked up to this. This is a new area that we're developing for the installation of generators. You can see on the left-hand side, we've got one generator installed. So these generators, there's 26 of them, and they're only used for normal backup purposes. So in the case of National Geographic, their space is maintained at 50 degrees Fahrenheit and a relative humidity of around 30%. That's great for the assets that are inside there. And then they have another room that the temperature is 35 degrees, even colder. And we need a lot of HVAC equipment, refrigeration equipment in order to achieve those results. What's inside there is determined by National Geographic, but I suspect that it's really the crown jewels.
Wow. Hard to tell what's in there.
Don't have anything frozen, don't have anyone's head inside the facility. We're not offering those types of arrangements to folks. So our focus is on business, media, information management, motion picture film or videotape, audio tape, paper records. The emergency relocation site was a theme in the early 50s. Not as much anymore, as we've morphed into a site where we're able to leverage the advantages of being underground, which is the stable environment and the security of the single point to come into the facility and go out. We're not really open to the public. We're not really accepting folks with open arms in the event that there would be a disaster of some sort outside there.
So in the event of the zombie apocalypse, you're safe?
I think we're safe, yes.
So there we go, guys. Ain't that cool? Yeah, like I was saying, I should have waited. Sorry, I spoiled things on you guys and interrupted. But Johnny Carson, he lost, I think NBC lost the first 3 or 4 years of his television show. And man, if they would only had those, it was some of the greats, some of the old classic Hollywood that Johnny interviewed. But he lost him. But after that, he kept close. Count on he had his own films, and I say he kept them up there, and they're probably still there. And like I was saying earlier, all Elvis Presley, all his masters are there. I'm sure Michael Jackson's, all his masters are there. Any of the greats are up there. So, and I guess if something, God forbid, we get hit by a nuke or something, they should be pretty safe. So, next one, guys, we're going to visit down here in the middle of Kentucky. And, yep, it's not really a mine, but it is a pretty well secured shelter. So, let's head down there and check out our gold. Alrighty, guys, here we go. It is Fort Knox. Here we go.
This is Fort Knox, one of the most secure buildings in the entire world. It is home to approximately 147.3 million ounces of the United States gold. But just how secure is it, and what other secrets could they possibly hide inside those vaults? And is it actually hiding the most valuable treasure of the U.S. government, or is it just a decoy to hide the real place that holds it? In the early 1930s, the United States was in the midst of the Great Depression, and the threat of another war in Germany was ever present. President Roosevelt made it abundantly clear that he was going to make big decisions in order to improve the financial situation in the country, both in stability and in security. He had made his dissatisfaction with the U.S. gold storage situation clear. But before he got to that, in a move to stabilize the economy and prevent the hoarding of gold during this financially trying time, he issued Executive Order 6102, which required U.S. citizens to turn in their gold coins, bullion, and gold certificates to the Federal Reserve in exchange for paper currency. Between 1933 and 1937, this increased the U.S. gold reserves to around $8 billion. After this decision, the gold stores currently located at the New York Assay Office and the Philadelphia Mint were
That's
deemed
beautiful. An
unfit
old
to
car
hold
sitting
such a large value and needed to be moved to someplace far more secure. You see, these two cities are very close to the shores, which means these locations are very vulnerable. If an enemy attacked from the coast and took control of New York or Philly, the U.S. would lose control of a huge portion of its wealth. So in 1935, the decision was made by President Roosevelt and the United States Treasury Department to commission a new place to store the reserve, a place far away from any shores, a place much more difficult for an enemy to take over: Kentucky. Remember I told you this is Fort Knox at the start? Well, technically, where the gold is stored isn't actually called Fort Knox, but rather Fort Knox is the giant military installation in Kentucky that the gold storage building is located on. Fort Knox was established in 1918 as a training center for the U.S. Army during World War I. During the interwar period leading up to World War II, Fort Knox became the primary training center for the U.S. Army's armed forces, playing a crucial role in developing tank warfare tactics. Today, it is still used in training military men for our now more modern and advanced warfare, but its primary use is more on the Treasury side instead of the military side, providing storage and protection to the aforementioned 140 million-ounce portion of the United States gold supply. This is likely where the name of the building and the name of the base have become synonymous with each other. The building itself, which houses the gold, is officially known as the United States Bullion Depository, a further and potentially even more integral point. If you are familiar with the geography of the United States, you'd know that Kentucky is actually landlocked, and putting it within Fort Knox would not only force enemies to infiltrate a military base, but also to trudge through mountains from the east. The area itself is also quite isolated from the rest of the world, with railways and highways in the distance, further hindering those who wish to attack it. Also notably, Kentucky is quite close to Washington, D.C., in case the federal government ever needed to access it. However, this historically doesn't happen, as Roosevelt is the only president in history to ever see the inside of the depository in person. In early 1936, construction would begin, and by the end of the year, the new bullion depository would be completed. Obviously, it takes more than just a fancy building with a many items of such importance and value. So, what is special about this depository? Managed to keep everything stored in the vault safe from someone looking to get rich. To start with, the building itself features 16,000 cubic feet of granite, 1,200 cubic yards of concrete, 750 tons of reinforcing steel, and 670 tons of structural steel.
The
new H2 Pro.
Alright, guys, there is a look at his YouTube channel. I'm not gonna play anymore. He had a lot of commercials, so he must be pretty big, or her big YouTube channel. But if you want to look up the rest of the video, there it is. Pretty cool, pretty cool. It's right here in my neck of woods. Well, it's about 2 hours away. Alrighty. So the next one, guys. Alright, guys. Now this is kind of close to me too. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours away. But it's Brentwood. No, not Brentwood. Greenbrier Resort. Where'd I get Brentwood? But anyway, this place has always fascinated me. For a long, long time, it was super secret. It was for all the government to have a place to go if in case we had nuclear fallout. And supposedly there was a train coming from the White House or Washington, D.C., all the way to Greenbrier Resort. But it was a massive, massive underground bunker. So let's take a little look at it, guys. Alright, guys, here we go. And like I said on the last video, right there where the title is the YouTuber's channel and stuff. So if you want to go check this out, I'm just borrowing little pieces.
Hey everyone, in this video, we're going to show you around the grounds of the Greenbrier Resort located in White, Springs, West Virginia. So let's get started. Before we go any further, don't forget to click the like button and click subscribe. So you're probably going to notice this video. That is because they filmed the movie Christmas at the Greenbrier in this resort. The movie really showcases the beauty of resort and the spirit of the holiday season. The Greenbrier Resort is located in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. It's a luxury resort that dates back to 1778. We did a little history tour here and we were told
Greenbrier Resort debunker.
Getting that from YouTube.
from Washington, D.C. would come to the Greenbrier during the summer. It took them 3 days by horse at the Greenbrier. Over the years, this
It can also mean
Okay, guys, I'm sorry about that. It took me. This is what I had picked out. My screen. I'm going to get a bigger screen. But here we go.
With enough generator power, food, water, and beds to last weeks. It's a story Greenbrier historian Bob Conti has been telling a long time.
This really captures a moment in time, a moment that was filled with a lot of fear. Really goes back to the mid-50s when, you know, at the flip of a coin, it seemed like the Soviet Union and the United States would be sending bombers at each other.
While school children practiced duck and cover, then President Dwight Eisenhower cut a deal to build the bunker nicknamed Project Greek Island beneath one of the most plush resorts in the nation. Congressional members and limited staff would find themselves racing down this hall in the event of a nuclear assault.
You have a sense that we're in a big concrete box here, and we're not getting out. I mean, I think that tunnel more than anything else gives that sort of kind of creepy feeling, you know.
The place is huge.
This is where the decontamination process would begin. Lawmakers would be ushered in. They'd have to remove all their clothes and put them in this chute. From here, lawmakers are then ushered down a very narrow hallway. They're stripped naked, and now jets of water are blasting them as the decontamination process continues. Think about it, what the lawmakers are being asked to endure. They're probably disoriented. They've been rushed here from Washington, D.C. because the worst of the worst, a nuclear attack has happened. The next step is out this door. Lawmakers are brought into this small room. They are given fatigues, some ivory soap, Vitalis for their hair, and some other toiletry items. And then they are prepared to stay in this bunker for who knows how long. The cots, the mattresses, the hospital, the intensive care unit remain just the same as they did in the early 1960s. The Greenbrier kept prying eyes away by placing high voltage signs on massive doors that served as the entrance to the bunker.
I can remember stumbling upon this once back in the secret days.
Former President Eisenhower's goal was to keep the legislative branch of the U.S. democracy up and running.
I think it's pretty clear that the Capitol building probably wouldn't be there anymore. But the point was, we as an institution are here, and I think the goal is to prevent anarchy from breaking out across the country.
It remained a closely guarded secret. Only the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the Senate Majority Leader knew about Project Greek Island. That is, until the end of the Cold War.
But that's a very neat place, guys. If you want to take a more big look, I mean, that was just scratching the surface. I mean, it's really something to go watch some videos on the Greenbrier Resort. It's a beautiful resort, for one, and then, you know, that huge thing in the backyard. But we're going to wind this old video down, guys. And but before we leave, did you know that they was trying to make like a little thing behind Mount Rushmore? I'm sure a lot of you do, but some of you may not. Yeah, they was going to make like a little cave or whatever back there for like the Hall of Records or stuff or something like that. And the guy who made Mount Rushmore just he never finished it. So let's take a little look at that before we finish up on this Friday evening video. Alrighty, guys, here we go.
If you go behind Mount Rushmore and go just past Lincoln's Head, you'll come across a
secret tunnel through the mountains, secret
If you go behind Mount Rushmore and go just past Lincoln's Head, you'll come across a
Alrighty, guys. I hope everybody's having a great Friday so far, and I hope you all have a great weekend. Until the next one, guys, me and my mouse are going to scat on out of here and go watch some more YouTube probably before bedtime and probably try to figure out what to eat for dinner. Alrighty, guys. Until the next one, I'll see you right here at Redneck Ways. Bye, guys. You guys stay safe out there.